I'd probably go for a fly. You know, if it flew like that hammer, I'd probably visit some other realms and see the universe, and then come back and do some good things for humanity. I play Thor, he's the god of thunder, and it's based on Norse mythology and then the comic books. In this particular story, he's the prince of the Nine Realms and is about to take on the throne, and he's very hot-headed and arrogant and opinionated, and through his sort of arrogance, he reignites an ancient war, and he's outcast to Earth in human form, and then he's forced to, really learn what it takes to be a hero and sort of earn those powers and privileges back, and the two worlds collide. It was an audition process, like any other. It was across about 3 or 4 months. I was back and forth, and during that time, I'd sort of read more in the comic books and got to know Ken better, and developed a bit more of an understanding about the character, and then it all fell into place, and I got the part. He's great, yeah. He's very much an actor's director. He knows what to say, what not to say. All about exploring different ideas and not locking into one version. It was to keep sort of challenging your interpretation of the character, and that's great. There's a very free way to work. You no longer walk a tightrope of sort of right and wrong. It's about just trying things, and it's okay to fail. And he's fun. He's a great person and good to be around, and that just makes that whole 4 or 5 month shooting schedule a lot more enjoyable. It was lots, I mean, me and Tom Hiddleston, especially, who plays my brother, we came into this with the same sort of love for these types of films and the business, and we'd be very professional on set and then run off and be like, oh my God, you see what Hopkins just did, or the can and what they said, and it was we were like a couple of kids in a candy store. Oh God, huge weight, and an incredible amount of integrity with these characters, and they're actors that I've watched for years and been inspired by, and to work opposite them, and learn from them was a huge privilege. I think that just that solid performers. You got 2 Academy Award winners in there, and that is that gives the film a whole nother weight to it. It's very exciting. Yeah, it's big shoes to step into. These Marvel films have this a running sort of success, and to take on the challenge of their new character was, I wouldn't have said no. There was certainly the sort of anxiety about it, but the excitement of doing that has certainly become the focus. It was good old-fashioned sort of weightlifting, bodybuilding, eating lots and lots of protein and veggies and brown rice, and all very clean sort of food. It was exhausting, more exhausting than the filming actually. It was the training. He is another big, powerful character, a superhero. And I think that, in the Avengers, there's some big egos in those groups, and the attempt to form an alliance is certainly a tricky one, a rough road. But he brings a sort of otherworldly quality to it. As a god, he's not from Earth, and also he's sort of born into his power and success. So I think maybe he has a better grip on it than the other guys do. Yeah, I don't think it's just for the fans of the comic books. I think across the board, it's a big, fun, entertaining film. It has great sort of performance and characters through it, but it's a great amount of fun. It has a sense of humour to it as well, and big, colourful sort of universe and larger-than-life characters. It's an exciting ride. I think some of the Rainbow Bridge, which is what sort of teleports people from world to world, is pretty impressive. Visually, that universe they created is I think stunning. There's the waterfalls in space and mountains and things we haven't seen before, and kingdoms, but this sort of futuristic blended with sort of Viking aspect of it. She was amazing, and someone that I've watched for years and admired, and she also has a great sense of humour and appreciation for the work, and she brought in an incredible amount of integrity into the character, and didn't want it to just be the sort of, the love interest. She wanted to work out what was the sort of, what was the drive behind this woman, and it made it much more complex than initially. I think it was what it was on the page, and that just made that relationship so much more interesting and dynamic. No, I hadn't really read the comic books at all, and then I got cast, and I had to read stacks and stacks and sort of educate myself on the Thor universe. You know, opportunity to work with the actors and this director in this type of film. I mean, it was sort of the top of the list on, you know, the things you could fall into. Um, you know, across the board, it was a dream. There was no sort of part of me that was hesitating about it. Go and see the movie.